All right, this is Patrick with RollMaster. What we're going to do today is a very brief system overview. First, I'll start out by telling you a little bit about us. We've been in the flooring software business for over 20 years. Flooring software is all we do. There's presently 32 of us. I think we had 29 in this picture last year, but we have 32 staff located around the country. And all we do is flooring software. So what we'll want to do, if you like what you see here today, is set up a more individualized demo. I'm going to try to keep things very high level, broad overview, but every flooring company is different. You know, some people do apartment work, retail, property management, and there's various features and functions I would show you based on that. Additionally, different states have different taxation rules. If you're in California, Texas, or Florida, I would teach you about different taxation rules that the system can handle a little differently than if you were in Wisconsin and Minnesota, for example. Some more high-level overview items. You may have noticed this when I posted on Facebook, but one thing that sets us apart and makes us different is we allow a lot of custom integrations in our system. So I'll highlight a few of them, but Creating Your Space as well as FloorForce have some marketing automation. So if you use them for your website, you can automate some data feeds and marketing from our system. Woocommerce is an e-commerce site you can integrate. Google Translate. We have some of our own apps, like a mobile app for the installers. There's various CRM systems out there we integrate, like Retail Lead Management, as well as QuickBase. On the estimating side, our favorite is Measure Square. We integrate with that, and we are our reseller. We also integrate with Estimate All and FloorSoft. So overall, we like to think of ourselves as an open platform, so you can tie the other important tools that you use on a daily basis to the core system. Now, getting a little deeper into the actual program, B2B, many of you may be familiar with already, but basically this means you can get your item catalog automatically from these suppliers. And this should be what's on your price list with your pricing. And there's a second page here. We will send this out to everybody after the meeting. There's more than just the price list. It can also do purchase orders, AP invoices. Some suppliers actually support doing a live stock check. So it's most of your key suppliers. And when you look at your showroom and the products you sell, B2B probably makes up a good 75–80% of it. And that helps you get up and running on the system in a timely manner with all your SKUs in there, and the prices are kept current. Now, diving a little bit into the system, we are a cloud-based platform, and we host all of our clients. So about 99% of our clients run off our cloud, and we manage the cloud and everything. So there's no third party. And this is important. You're not using remote desktop. So it's not just a remote desktop application. We are actually hosting the program. You have a little 2 megabyte program on your Windows PC installed, and that allows you to run the system from anywhere. And we're taking care of the data, backing it up in 5 different locations, 3 different data centers. So it gives you the best performance. And again, 99% of our clients have us hosting it, which is a large differentiator. Most competitors use third-party hosting. All right, so now getting a little bit deeper into the weeds here, I'm going to write up a new job. And then I'm going to pick a customer. And I'll probably have some silly note pop up with this customer. Yep, you don't have to have that turned on in your system. And pick a sales rep. All right, the system will handle job costs, commissions, and various functions like that. That would be more for a deeper dive. I want to just write up a sale, because that's one of the most important things in any system, is that your staff can quickly and easily write up a transaction. If it takes them forever to hunt and find product in the system and they can't get a customer rung up and out the door, then it's kind of all for nothing. So I'm going to go hit Find and Add Line Items. And I'm going to search for the product category. So for my example, I'm going to search for carpet. These categories are all customizable, so you can tweak this for your company. For example, you may or may not sell cabinets and stone and granite, but you can tweak that for your company. So I'm going to search for carpet, and I'm going to search for a style called bestseller. And then I'm going to pick a color, and I'll try to sell you some green carpet here. And we'll add that to the order. And I'm going to put in 87 linear feet, and it'll convert me to square yards. Now, this is one of the forks in the road where we have to learn your company and understand what's important to you. For example, I'm in square yard right now. You could set it up by the square foot for rolled product. I have cost showing over here. That's a setting, so you can choose who in your company is allowed to see cost and who is not allowed to see cost. So for somebody not allowed to see cost, they would rely on a pricing table, which would give them the predetermined margins that they're allowed to sell at. So these are selling prices that you set up ahead of time based on margins, and the system can help you control your gross profit by dictating what your staff sells for. So if you notice somebody's always selling at the bottom price, you can tweak it and take that price away from them. Other companies allow their staff to see costs, and there's nothing wrong with that, and then they allow them some wiggle room in negotiating on cost. So I'm going to put this in at 33%. Well, 333 would be nice. So I'm selling it for 20 bucks a yard. Now, this next portion is really important when we talk about ease of use and trying to guide your staff to the proper product selection. I'm selling carpet, so the system is going to pop up associated products. These are things that go with every carpet job. So the user just has to say, no, I don't want the 8-pound pad. I want the 6-pound pad. And notice it automatically calculated the quantity. And we do want some labor. We're going to install this. And then maybe there's some rip up as well, or furniture. Now I hit continue. The system just wrote up 4 line items. So in most systems, your staff would have had to try to find all 4 of those items one by one, but digressing to that associated products box, because of this, we're able to steer your staff to the right products so they don't forget things and leave them off the order. Now I'm going to do one more example. I'm going to search for tile. And we're going to search for a tile by Mohawk. So I'm going to put in a vendor of Oha. And then I'm going to put in a style of Africa. And I intentionally left a couple letters off there so that you could see when I hit find. I'm able to find African stone, 20 by 20s from Mohawk, color Madagascar, add that to my order, and I'm going to put in 400 feet, and the system will round me to the next carton, of course. And I'm going to call this tile upstairs. We'll do basement. Now, I'm selling tile, so the system's going to pop up the associated items with tile. You can customize this screen however you want, and you only have to do it once for tile, once for wood, once for carpet, once for plank. And then from then on, the system's going to help guide your staff to the right selections. An interesting thing you can do here is have the square footage default, so I'm automatically selling the same amount of square footage as I am on the labor as I am on the tile. When you get into things like thin set, you can actually program in your standard spread rate, so it tells your staff how many bags or buckets to use. So that's really helpful with new staff and just establishing rules and policies on how many bags of thin set, grout, adhesive go with product. So based on the square footage I'm selling, it automatically calculated the number of bags I needed. And based on the vendor, it automatically added a drop ship charge for freight. So once again, I hit continue, and I just wrote a $7,000 quote with 8 lines. And in most systems, you would have been searching for all 8 of those lines individually. All right, so that's the basics of order entry. We're going to go a little step further than that. And I'm going to go to functions and cost review. So here, you would get to pick which of your employees have access to cost review, but this allows you to tweak pricing by margin and say, okay, I want my tile to be at 33 points, and I want my carpet to be at 25 points. And it'll tell you where you're at entirely as a margin. And if you're a use tax state, it would include use tax in that calculation. I could also go and say, let's do the tile for 4,000, and let's do the carpet for 3,000. So those are some quick calculations that the system can help you come up with. And there I'm done pricing out my job. Now, a little sidebar, I've got this eDocs button that allows you to help go paperless. That allows you to attach documents, and it's basically just like attaching to an email. From that moment on, the document resides on our servers and is backed up every night. And you can categorize it as general, diagrams, signed copy, job site photos, etc. So these eDocs are in the system. That way your staff has access to it from anywhere. No more job folders, no more digging through somebody's desk on their day off trying to find their paperwork. Everything should be attached to the job. Work from home that day, you still have access to everything. Now, touching on printing the document, I might print an agreement out, and I'm going to print to a PDF so we can all see it. And there's various detail you may want to show the customer. So you can decide if you want to show them prices, quantities, extensions, or you might want to bundle it and just give them a really short and sweet summary. There's no right answer here, but you can tweak it anytime you print the document to decide how much detail you want to show the client. And I'm going to pull up a PDF as an example. So your company logo would be at the top, and that could be in full color. And then I chose to show them everything they were buying as well as the price, but I'm giving them a lump sum price. I'm not breaking down every nitty gritty. In this case, I showed the yardage, but you do not have to show the yardage. You'll notice I did not show the square footage for the tile, and then subtotal, freight, taxes, and everything else. So there's about 10 different ways you can print this, depending how much detail you want to show the client. Another thing you can do when you're printing the document is you could email it directly to the customer. So you just hit email, it generates an email right here from the system to the client from you. So there's no extra steps of printing and scanning it or creating a PDF or anything. We just do it right here, set up a templated message, hit send. So emailing natively from the system is in a lot of areas of the system. So you can get customers their quotes, agreements, invoices, statements, etc. Now, carrying a little bit forward, and we won't go too deep here, I'm going to assign material. And if I have stock, I can pull from existing inventory. And I can grab off of that 125 foot remaining. And then same on the pad, I'm going to assign to existing stock there. Now, fast forward, and I want to print a work order for the installer. I'll go to work order. And I can print a work order with everything, or I could just pick the items that installer's picking up today. So I'm going to do just the carpet, pad, and labor, and we'll pretend maybe somebody else is getting the tile. And then I hit continue. And then there's various options here. How many copies do I want? Do I want to show the labor cost? So sometimes I may show the labor to my subcontractor so he knows how much he's going to make. Other times I might need a copy without labor cost because the helper's picking it up. Another interesting feature is you can also translate your work orders to other languages. So Spanish is the default naturally, but we've loaded these languages in advance. And basically what we do at the time of print is we automatically reach out to Google Translate, send all the notes and everything from the order, and pull it back in Spanish. And then we'll print a copy of the notes in English and a copy of the notes in Spanish, or whatever language you chose. And translation is primarily on the work order, but you can also do it on sales agreements, quotes, invoices, POs, etc. And then I hit print, and that gives me a copy for the warehouse to know what to pull and a copy for the subcontractor to sign off on. So again, it's got my logo on it, has a barcode on it, description of all the excuse me, all the product going out, and all the labor. And in this case, I'm showing him how much he's making. Now, everything I've covered so far is a part of the core system. So if you sign up with our most basic package, everything you see is included. Now, I am now going to touch on some add-on modules. And it's important to know none of these add-ons are required to run the day-to-day system. They're simply bells and whistles you can add in the future. So you'll notice this document's barcoded, so that's a perfect lead-in to our barcode device. So this is a warehouse-grade Android barcode device. It can run on an iPhone as well, but with Android, you can get some nice items with a barcode scanner built in, and the warehouse can do several functions from here, including receiving product, performing physical inventory, as well as shipping product. The goal is your warehouse guy is mobile and he's doing his job from the device and not sitting at a desk. And I'll give you an example on this work order. He can scan it to mark it as shipped from the building. So immediately he scans it, marks it shipped, and it's left your inventory as outside of the building. On top of that, if you desire, you can turn on verification scans where he has to scan the product going out to ensure he's shipping the right roll of carpet. So again, I'm just sort of scratching the surface. If we do a one-on-one in-depth demo, then we'll go a lot deeper on the barcoding and how you can use it in other aspects of the warehouse like cycle counts and receiving. Now, another module that you can bolt onto the system is our web calendar. So this works in a browser. This is also an app you can download from the App Store. And it has various functionality, but I'm going to hone in on the installation calendar. And this just gives you a calendar representation of all the jobs you have going. And the important part to note is how mobile it is. So I even have my delivery drivers on here. One of my installers, Jay's Tile, Elizabeth Lopez. If I hover over, it's pulling all the information straight from the system. And if I click on it, it's going to show me the line items, quantities, etc. Now, you can use this in the office to know when you have openings, what installers at which job. You can also use this in the field. So maybe you have a quality control person that goes to the job site and checks out the job. So they could click the phone button, call the customer, tell them they're on the way. Click the map button, it's going to throw the address into their navigation app on their cell phone. And while they're on site, they could click the camera button and take photographs that automatically upload back to the core system. And then if you had diagrams attached in eDoc, you could go there and find the diagram and pull it up. So you have a use case of your office, in the office to see who's busy, who's not. You possibly have a quality control person in the field checking out jobs. They may actually mark it as completed here to update the office that the job has a punch list left or it's completed. And then the last use case, you can actually have your installer log in and use this as a mobile work order. So you might still give him paperwork at the back door, but this allows him from his cell phone to see what jobs are coming up this week and to go into them and see what's ahead of them, take photographs. Maybe they're asking you for floor prep, so you require a photograph every time there's floor prep. Or maybe you're trying to get better before and after photos. Maybe you get the customer to sign off, that's stored digitally. And then lastly, the installer can submit an invoice through this app. So he would have a tab to submit you an invoice. That'll look something like this. And it basically just shows the line items on the job, the labor cost, and then if they want to beg you for floor prep and other extras, they can type notes in here. So in addition to being an installation calendar, it serves as a mobile work order for your installation crew. All right. Now, one last topic, and again, I'm trying to keep this all short and sweet for today. We're happy to do a deeper dive with you sometime. One last topic is reporting. So I'm going to hit some reporting straight out of the system first. So I'm going to go to the main menu, and I'm going to hit sales analysis. So this is one of the main sales reports in the system. It can literally be ran 1,000 different ways. And I'm going to say I want to know who my best salesperson is, but I want to know who their best clients are, and I want to know what product types they're selling. And I'm going to go back a few years just so I get some good data in this test company I'm working in. So I'm in a sales report right now, and I ran this by salesperson. So this is showing me my top sales rep is Sarah. She's running a 37.6% gross profit margin on $2.5 million. Now, if I double click on Sarah, that's going to give me a breakdown of her top clients and what margin we're running per client. I'd like more of that client to come in. Now, if I double click a client, it's going to give me a breakdown of what categories they're purchasing. So based on how I ran the report, it was sales rep first. Double click the rep, I know what clients are buying from them, then what product categories the clients are buying. So that same report, I could tweak a little different. Maybe I don't care about my sales reps today, and I want to run by product type. And maybe I want to know who my top suppliers are and what style and color. So now I can see labor's my #1 seller, carpet's #2 at 18% of my business, running 34% margin. Cabinet 32%, tile 36%. Now if I double click carpet, now it's going to give me a breakdown of vendor, and it's going to give me my gross profit margin per vendor. So maybe when this vendor wants to put more display rack, then I'll think twice about it. Now if I double click a supplier, we'll click on Shaw, here's my top selling products from Shaw and what margins are, my top selling carpet product. So going back a little bit, I ran it by product category, so I can pick tile. Here's my top tile suppliers and what my margin is per supplier. And then I can find out the exact SKUs. All this data can be dumped to Excel, of course, so you can do charts, graphs, and all that good stuff. Going back kind of the beginning, you can really build your own report this way. If you categorize it, you could run a report by display rack and see which displays are selling, which ones aren't. You could also run by installer and see which installers are profitable and which ones keep dinging you on extras and trip charges. So it's really sort of a Swiss Army knife of sales reports here. And again, we can send you videos on deeper dives on this and other things as well. Now, one last topic, and we'll call it a day because I wanted to try to keep this to about 30 minutes. Tableau is another add-on module. Tableau is a data visualization package. And data visualization previously was really designed for Fortune 500 companies. And we decided to take this project on to make it available to the masses. So basically, if you get Tableau, we have built-in reports that are graphical and visualized. And I'm going to hit a couple just as examples. This is a fascinating one for retailers. This is a payment type analysis. So this is showing how much money I have coming in on check versus credit card versus financing. And equally fascinating, what is my average ticket per order with these payment types? So my average ticket, $6,600 on financing, $4,700 on credit. So that makes sense why I should perhaps push more financing. Then I'm going to hit a sales report. And this can be used for any comparative time frame. And this is the same data in sales analysis, so you could certainly use sales analysis to get at the answers. This just visualizes it a little better. So now I'm comparing the current quarter versus prior quarter. And here I can see where each sales rep is compared to last year. So Tom Petty is somehow slightly ahead of last year. Marilyn Monroe's numbers are off a little bit. And the red or black dot indicates if there's an increase or fall off in gross profit margin. This is a drill down report. So if I click on Tom Petty and keep him, it's going to filter the entire report just for Tom's salespeople. Tom's customers and Tom's product categories. Then if I were to click a customer, and we'll pick Jamie Lannister here, that's going to filter it down just to Jamie Lannister's products and what Jamie Lannister's been buying. And if I want to start over, I just hit the button and I start over from scratch. Any way you slice and dice and analyze this data can be saved. And then you can also subscribe to it. So here I could subscribe and say, I would like this email every single day with this report. Or maybe that's a little much. Let's have this just come to me every Tuesday. So you can automate through Tableau some of the reporting, getting to you and key members of your staff. And then I won't go through every dashboard, but there's an accounts payable dashboard, not as exciting, but if in case you want to know who you owe money to, accounts receivable. return to stock if you want to have a lot of returns and you want to track it, staff productivity to see how many tickets, how many line items they're writing up, inventory, so you can have a safety stock report and things like that, that are all data you could run out of the system. This just lets you automate it so it comes in your inbox every day, or you just click on it and view a dashboard. And this all works on an iPad as well for the Tableau dashboards. One final dashboard we have coming out soon, we're unveiling at Surfaces next week, is income statement. So this is going to give you a comparative drill down income statement, also compares where you're at over time with gross profit, net profit, per year, per month, etc. So Tableau is just an advanced reporting package. When we meet with you one-on-one, we'll help you decipher if the system's a good fit for you, which add-ons make sense for now, which ones make sense for down the road. Our mantra is being an open system, so you can tie in all the tools you want. So if you have your own calendar app you prefer over ours, you can tie it in using our API. If you have your preferred website company that you have a great relationship with, they can tie into our system with API, set up marketing automations and so forth. So we're at the half-hour mark. So where do we go from here? We will email everybody that attended a video of this, and we will also email you a link in case you want to schedule a one-on-one meeting. So the one-on-one we would do over the phone, and it would last about an hour. And basically, we would do a deeper dive into the system, and it would be more tailored and customized to your business. And then from there, if you like what you see, we're also happy to actually visit you on site at your office. So thanks everybody for attending. We will email you some follow-up information via email, including a copy of the video, a link in case you want to schedule a more thorough demonstration, and reach out to us with any questions you have. Thanks everybody for attending. Have a good day.